Hi friends! I felt the nudge to do a reading for the collective energy for the new year for 2020. So just to give a little bit of information about myself, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lindsay Leggett and I live in New Albany, Indiana. And I am a card reader, a Zumba instructor, and a Reiki 2 practitioner. And I will leave some information at the end of this video about how you can schedule your own card reading or your own Reiki session if you would like that. But before we hesitate for too long, I'd like to go on and get started just with some messages for the collective energy. So I don't know about you all too, but I like to pick a word for the year. So my word for the year for 2019 was magical. 2019 was magical for me because it taught me a lot of lessons. Growth can be magical. My word for the year for 2020 is creativity. So we'll have to see how that pans out too. So I'm going to go on and shuffle these. I'm using my Fairy Tarot deck. So we shall see what messages come up for the collective energy. Okay. All right. Okay. So like I said, this is a reading for the collective energy for the year 2020. And if you would like your own New Year's Eve reading or your own New Year's reading, then I will leave some information about how to do that. So the first question that I had is, what was our lesson from 2019? And the card that came up was the Four of Winter. And this says, set aside your concerns from now, make your decision later, solutions that come from meditation, the need for sleep or meditation. Ooh, so 2019, kind of like I mentioned at the beginning of this, was a really hard year, a lot of lessons. Like, I don't know about a lot of you all, but even like right now, I feel like really kind of exhausted at the end of it, even just with myself. So I feel like this is just a message for all of us just to kind of not worry so much and just to take time for ourselves. I feel like we need to make sure that we're taking care of our physical health, and making sure that we're taking care of our spiritual health as well, whatever that means to you. Especially we're in winter. So this is the time to really like kind of hibernate. You're going to be indoors a lot. Really focus to take care of your physical body, your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual health. They're all connected. So really take that as your lesson from 2019, that you need to learn to take a break, not worry so much. It's like that meme for 2019. I feel like that kind of sums it up. Like, but did you die? Like, you made it. So it's going to all be okay. So that's our big lesson from 2019, that it's going to all be okay. We need to remember to take care of ourselves no matter what's going on. Okay. The next question that I had is what to leave behind in 2019. So the message here is renewal. I feel like this is a message for all of us, maybe to spend tonight and tomorrow to really reflect and kind of review like what is no longer serving us in order to renew our energy. Like, this is to review the past and present so you can bring a bright new future. Like, Amanda and I have been really doing a purge of our house the past like couple of days, and we're probably going to continue that tonight into tomorrow as well, and probably into this weekend. Like, what's no longer serving you, now's the time to kind of get rid of that. You have to get rid of what's no longer serving you, whatever that is, to make room for the new, for the abundance. So if that's a physical like environment detox, like what we're doing, do that. If it's a spiritual detox, like you really need to take inventory of your spiritual life. If it's your physical health, like really look and say, am I eating properly? Am I exercising properly? Am I getting enough sleep? Am I drinking enough water? Am I, eating the right types of foods? Am I taking vitamins? Are you taking care of your physical body? So that's something to think about and just kind of go through, and what's no longer serving you, leave that behind. Okay. So what are the gifts? What do we need to bring with us from 2019? And this, so this is just saying, it's the King of Autumn. And it says, be assertive when you know what is right. So kind of what I think about that is like, don't back down. Trust yourself. Like, I feel like for so many of us this year, we had to learn what was right for us. And that's what it's saying. Like, don't forget that. Like, the lessons you learned from this year, what's right for you. Be assertive when you know what's right for you. Like, don't back down. So don't forget that. Like, all these lessons you learned this year that were painful, don't forget that going into next year. Don't forget what that feeling feels like. Don't forget what those moments are like. Keep those in mind. What to work on in 2020. Oh, I love this. The dreamer. Embrace your true purpose, begin a new adventure, and trust yourself. So this is going to be your year. So think of 2019 as kind of like the storm, like clearing the path. You had to get rid of kind of like a lot of things. I feel like for a lot of people were revealed of like what no longer serves you. 2020 is going to be the year. It might be a little stormy at first. It might be some times that we have to exercise some patience to see our manifestations. But now's the time that's like, okay, we're gonna, like, that's why we had all these hard lessons, because now we're gonna see how tough it is. We're gonna still have that kind of sting, and it's gonna feel so good when like we can embrace our purpose, and we're gonna know how hard we have to work, but it's gonna feel good when our reward comes. So yay. All right, the theme for the year to come. All right, yay. The theme for the year to come is the 6 of spring. It says, wonderful news, it's on its way. Smart choices bring reward, success, and public recognition. So I feel like kind of like what all the cards have been saying and what I've been saying this whole time. 2019 was a hard year. 2020 is going to be like a year. It's not going to be like where we just get to chill and sit back and eat sandwiches, but it's going to be a year where we get to see the fruits of our labors. Like, the pain from our growth, we're going to get to see like what's kind of birthed out of that, if that makes sense. Like 2019 was like the labor pains. 2020 is what we're going to give birth to. So it's like good news is coming on its way, and just kind of have faith. And so that's going to be our theme for this year. Is it all going to be, tulips and daisies? Of course not. But is it going to be like a better year and a year of better promises? Yes. So hooray. All right, and last but not least, I just felt the need to ask, like, are there any other messages that we as a collective need to know? And the card that came up is, a lot of times we feel like we're trapped. That it's the 7 of winter. We need to think that, there's always a better choice. A lot of times, all of us, including myself, I can be a bit of an avoider. So it's like we're not seeing things clearly. We're running away from the truth instead of like coming to focus on it. So it's like, you know what? Don't be scared. Like, everything's going to work out in the end. And kind of like where things were so hard, I feel like for 2020, if we just confront things in a loving way and just deal with it, it's going to be okay. Like, that's the message that we got from this. So friends, if any of you are interested in your own reading, you can send me a message on Instagram in my DMs, and I will get back to you. We can do a message over Instagram. I can leave you a voice clip or type it out. Either one's fine. Or we can do this over the phone. I can just call you and we can go over your reading, and we can, so that way you could interact with me and ask questions. We could also do it over, like, if you have FaceTime. And we could FaceTime, so that way you could see me, you could ask questions in that setting. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. We are totally open to do that. I can also do them in person. If you're in the New Albany area, New Albany, Louisville area, I'm happy to do that. Now with Reiki, I am attuned to distance Reiki, so I can do distance Reiki sessions, or Reiki in person. I would be able to do that. Same thing. I do have a massage table, so I would be able to do a Reiki session if you were within a 30-mile radius of New Albany or Louisville. My card readings are $15, and I do accept Venmo and PayPal, so you're welcome to set that up with me. My Reiki sessions are $30 for 30 minutes, and that's for distance or in person. Same thing, Venmo or PayPal. If you would like to do both a card reading and a Reiki session, we could talk and probably negotiate a price. That way you could do both. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me, friends. And I am so looking forward to going into 2020 with you. Let's have a magical year. Mwah. Bye.